Well, good morning, one and all. Thank you so much to the Institute on Aging for this opportunity, and to Dr. Riff and all of the staff at the Institute on Aging, which is conveniently housed in the building I work in, which is very nice. I just run downstairs and talk to them anytime I want. So the first thing I need to do as an academician is give you my disclosure statement. The disclosure is, I am a physical therapist, which means I have a strong bias toward getting you up and moving, okay? So PTs are kind of like movement experts is what we try and claim, our claim to fame. So I truly believe that exercise is the best medicine, and that Tai Chi is an example of exercise that can help you achieve that. And I'm going to be teaching to you about a program that was actually developed here in Madison 20 years ago by Trisha Yu. How many people in this room know who Trisha Yu is? There we go. So I'm already preaching to some of the choir, okay? And how many of you have tried Tai Chi at some point in your life? Okay, again, half the room. So that makes this an easy talk. And we'll be talking specifically about Tai Chi fundamentals, which is an adapted form, and I'll give you a little bit more of that history. But I'm not an employee of her company, but I do make money because I do Tai Chi talks. Okay, so I have to let you know that. My objectives today is really going to talk about what it means to be aging well, be aging healthy and well-being. Okay? I will define Tai Chi for those of you that have not experienced it. We'll talk about its health benefits, and at the end we'll get to try a little bit, and then we'll open it up for some Q&A. So Americans are living longer, and our goal is to stay healthy. And statistically, we want to stay healthy, and we know that people don't always do that. In fact, there's a thing called the age-adjusted life expectancy, the HALE. And what we find with the HALE is, this one just decided to go out. There we go. Is women live a little bit longer than men, but this red bar is the health-adjusted expectancy, which means we spend about 13.8 years not healthy. Ooh. Of course, that's not the people in this room, right? Because you're the ones trying to do something about it. Okay, so aging well has to do with how much you keep fit and what your nutrition is and how well you sleep and a lot of the things that are going to get talked about today at this conference by our other guests. So we know chronic illness is a big part of what happens to people. And we look at heart disease, cancer, and stroke, and it literally takes the lives of 50% of elderly every year. But if we look at the other top 10, here's the Debbie Downer slide, okay? The top 10 things that people die from when they're over 65 years of age includes heart disease, cancer, chronic lung disease, stroke, Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is like a hit on the top 10 list. It wasn't here before, but it's climbing and it's moving upward. And exercise is a good thing to battle against Alzheimer's. Diabetes, unintentional injuries and falls. Okay? So right during my talk today, while I'm on this podium for about an hour, 150 to 180 seniors will fall. Okay? So one person falls every 20 seconds in this country. Okay? And with the baby boomers getting older, it behooves all of you to learn how to improve your balance. So Tai Chi is an activity that can help you with that. So I need a little audience participation here. What are the keys to healthy aging? Just shout them out, nice and loud so everybody can hear them. Nutrition. Social networking. Exercise. Sleep. New things. Dark chocolate. Woo, I like it. It's got good antioxidants in it. I vote for that. In moderation, of course. Volunteering, service. A little bit of wine, dark chocolate, red wine, and exercise, okay? So, good health care. All right, what? Travel. I thought you said trouble. There's a little bit of trouble, that's also good. All right, so you get the idea. It is really looking at all the components of aging and keeping them all in, here it comes, balance, right? So we have to have emotional wellness, intellectual wellness, stimulation from our environment. If you're still working, you want to have occupational wellness, like what you do, your financial wellness, physical, spiritual, and social. But underlying all of that is the ability to get to those things, right? The ability to have good leg strength and walking speed. So let's talk a little bit about that and staying engaged in our community. There's a document that's put out by the federal government called the State of Aging and Health in America, and the most recent one was published in 2013. So in this report, they highlight the importance of optimal mobility, okay? People being able to move. That makes sense to me because I'm a physical therapist. There's my bias. Okay. We also know that walking speed is the 6th vital sign. So how fast you walk, how strong your legs are, is a determinant of your health status. Okay? It prevents functional decline, including hospitalization, and where you go after you're hospitalized. So if you were a good walker, and had good strength and good mobility, and you have some type of injury, you have an infection, you have another surgery for another complication in your life, if you're healthy going into the hospital, you have a better likelihood of going back home, okay? It improves your potential to beat mortality, right? And stay fit. So think about your legs and your balance as a key component to aging very healthy. So, is Tai Chi an ancient Chinese secret that can promote optimal aging and well-being? Well, here's my bias coming in again. I think it's going to be something good for all of us. So, I can stand up here with my clinical expertise, but if I look at all of the things that go into good science, clinical expertise is only one thing. And indeed, if you look where clinical expertise is, I don't know, you dirty, there we go. This green piece, I'm down here. I'm opinion. I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, okay, as far as evidence goes. But above here at the very top is a thing called systematic reviews, meta-analyses, and these are where scientists get together and find the best research and synthesize information and say, what do we know from the scientific literature about Tai Chi? Okay? And then I already have this going strong here because we have patient value. Half of you have already done this. Okay, so there's value for it. And those are the 3 legs of evidence. Clinical expertise, the patient, and the societal value for it, and then the best research. So the research talks about Tai Chi Chuan means the supreme ultimate boxing. It was originally designed for young athletes. But in its original work, when it was written into the scientific literature in 1981, it talked about its preventative qualities, that it was good for the cardiovascular system, that it was good for mindfulness. In the Chinese world, it is actually a spiritual exercise in terms of being rooted on the earth and reaching for the heavens as you do the movements. So it really talked about, philosophically, the mind-body connection, which has been gone for a long time in the modern medical world. So bring it back, bring back the energy cultivation of Qigong and Tai Chi may be an optimal way to improve our mental and our physical health. So what I want to do now is kind of talk a little bit more about why you should do it. Okay, so I'm going to show you a video, and this video is from Trisha Yu's recent DVD that she put out, the Tai Chi Fundamentals Adapted Program. So it'll give you a flavor of the entire Yang style, and then we'll talk about how we simplify that and bring it into more of a medical model after I show the video. And this video will have information about some of the scientific benefits as well. Oops, if it links. Let's see. It worked before, didn't it, Jim? Look at him. Look at him run. I was here at 7:30. We got it ready. Not being fussy. Interesting, huh? There it goes.
Tai Chi is an ideal exercise for lifelong well-being. This slow, quiet exercise benefits mind, body, and spirit. Tai Chi teaches us to move consciously with an alert, calm mind and helps us to become strong, flexible, and balanced, physically and emotionally. I discovered Tai Chi in my 20s and have practiced and taught it for well over 40 years. I'm especially grateful to have started learning Tai Chi early in life. Now, at 70 years old, I know that daily Tai Chi practice helps me stay fit, physically and mentally. It helps me function well in work and play, and enjoy all the things I love to do. People of all ages and abilities practice this ancient Chinese martial art for function, fitness, and health. Scientific research has shown that Tai Chi has a remarkable array of benefits. Effective for improving balance and reducing falls, Tai Chi practice keeps us strong and flexible, is good for heart and lungs, helps maintain strong bones, and is good for our immune system. In addition, it has been shown to lower stress, improve cognitive function, help reduce anxiety, depression, and the effects of post-traumatic stress. It also helps us get a good night's sleep. The great news is you can reap the benefits of Tai Chi at any age and in almost any physical condition. This is Patricia Colati. She has practiced Tai Chi since 1977 and is a certified Yang-style lineage Tai Chi instructor who teaches Tai Chi fundamentals.
In my early 20s, I began learning traditional Tai Chi form, Tai Chi sword, and push hands, Tai Chi's martial arts training. I love sharing and teaching traditional Tai Chi and have discovered that the simplified Tai Chi Fundamentals program makes it accessible for students of every age and physical condition, including superb athletes. I've seen people with Parkinson's, joint replacements, MS, strokes, and more all enjoy the classes and reap amazing benefits from this great simplified program. I feel this has been a remarkable gift to the Tai Chi community and the fitness industry because it is a perfect program teaching you the basics to start your Tai Chi training. I recommend that all of my students start with Tai Chi fundamentals when they embark on their Tai Chi journey.
So let your arms be really heavy. So drop your elbows, let me hold them. Arms are really, really heavy.
And here is Kristy Reitz, occupational therapist and manager of a hospital-based wellness program in Madison, Wisconsin.
And that's what we're looking for. Does that feel a little different? Since 2002, I've taught Tai Chi fundamentals classes to patients with a wide variety of issues. I've also taught Tai Chi fundamentals to groups of medical professionals and other community groups to meet their needs for stress management, self-awareness, and self-care. What I find so personally rewarding over and over again is that people will come for a particular reason and then they discover that they're making progress in other areas of their lives. Someone might come for pain management and find over time that they're feeling less anxious, sleeping better, and getting along with family members better because they're less reactive. It's very rewarding for me to see people's lives change before my eyes. I've personally studied the challenging traditional Yang-style Tai Chi form since 2003, but I'm deeply grateful that I can offer this more accessible, adaptable Tai Chi fundamentals program in all of my classes. It's been a true gift to me both personally and professionally.
There is an old saying that one who practices Tai Chi becomes strong as an oak, flexible as a willow, and clear as still water. Try it and see for yourself. Better yet, the discipline and focus of Tai Chi opens up worlds of joy, spontaneity, and just plain fun. May you enjoy its benefits for many years to come.
Where's my mouse? Gotta close this video. Now it's like, where's the mouse? Oh, there he is. This one. I got him. I couldn't find the mouse. Close. There we go. Beautiful. So it's not a secret anymore. Tai Chi can promote healthy aging. It's a mild form of aerobic exercise, and depending on how deconditioned you are starting, it might even be a moderate form of aerobic exercise. It will strengthen your muscles, it will build muscular endurance, and if you practice it for 50 plus years, like Tricia, you might be that flexible. You'll improve your balance and your postural control, and then it has many social and mental benefits just because you typically learn it in a group setting. Okay, so again, this was a video from Tai Chi Fundamentals, but there are 5 different lineages of Tai Chi, and any one of them will work, okay? And there's rich Tai Chi in the city of Madison in terms of being able to find it. So let's talk a little bit more about how Tai Chi fights back on the diseases of aging. Okay, remember my downer list that I showed, all those illnesses? So we go back to the systematic reviews of literature, those top of the pyramid pieces. We find excellent literature for falls prevention, osteoarthritis. There's probably none of that in this room, right? Okay. Parkinson's disease, lung disease, and cognitive capacity. So our friend Alzheimer's can be addressed, and other forms of dementia can be addressed with a little bit of mindfulness and physical activity, okay? So whether we can slow that down or change that or manipulate its trajectory is yet to be determined, but if you get healthy at a younger age, hopefully that can deter some of that. We have good evidence for treating of depression. That's its social component, getting people socially engaged and out in the community again. It can help with cardiac rehab and stroke. Those were also high. Heart disease is #1 killer in the US. So there's good evidence that a mild form of exercise like this, as well as its mindfulness components, can lower blood pressure, lower lipid profile, improve your cholesterol. Okay? And again, cognitive impairment and dementia has other literature related to good evidence. And there's also fair evidence for quality of life for patients with cancer, people with fibromyalgia, hypertension, and osteoporosis. So these are the conditions that ail us. And there's scientific literature that this form of exercise can help with that. So there's a really good overlap between those mortality and morbidity things that we see in our older years. It offers these general health benefits. So balance, aerobic capacity, and muscle strength are part of the National Physical Activity Guidelines that people should be adhering to in terms of exercise. And again, it helps with flexibility and well-being and sleep. Do you notice that the list that we're talking about are many of the things that you shouted out, what helps with healthy aging? So from an aerobic perspective, the National Physical Activity Guidelines tell us that we should get at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise every week. So that's a 30-minute walk a day, okay? Or you can shorten that up and do something more vigorous. So, if you go to a wedding and polka all night, that gets to count for something, okay? A little more vigorous. Strength training. We should be doing strength training, and this is a shortcoming of many Americans. Only 8% of women in the U.S. adhere to national physical activity guidelines for strength training. 8%. Okay, so that's sad because it's part of being well, okay? We should be exercising 8 to 10 major muscle groups at least 2 times a week, and we gotta push a little bit hard. We can't be like lifting something like this and saying, oh, this is strength training, okay? That doesn't count. It has to be difficult. It has to be, when you get to that 12th rep, you're like, whew, Kristy can't do another one. Okay, and when you strength train, it needs to be up, 1, 2, 3, down, 1, 2, 3, 1, up. So it's got to be slow enough to let the muscle recruit and get stronger. We have to sustain it. And when we do Tai Chi, we can sustain and hold posture, and that will increase our strength. And then we should be adding neuromuscular balance, particularly as we age. At least 15 minutes a day. Some of the literature tells you it needs to be 3 hours per week. So if you were going to do balance exercises for 3 hours a week, you might as well make it something that's a gross motor activity like Tai Chi or ballroom dancing or something, yoga. There's lots of mindful meditation therapies that can help you, not just Tai Chi. So if you don't like Tai Chi, there's other things to choose from. We need to challenge balance in 3 definitive ways, okay? So this is from a study by Sherrington et al. About the exercise, how do we prevent falls through exercise? So when we, my back on? So when we exercise, we need to challenge and move across the base of support. So if I'm moving side to side, and then I progress to single leg balance, that's going to help me improve falls, okay? I have to move the center of mass of my body over my feet, okay? Whether it's sidestepping, backstepping, and then I have to decrease the need for upper limb support. So you can do Tai Chi like this, then get to 1 foot, find your balance, take your hands off, and you're satisfying these 3 entities as a requirement for balance challenge. At least 3 hours a week if you're at risk for falls, is what the scientific literature says, how much neuromuscular exercise we need a week, okay? Exercise is necessary to be ongoing, okay? My dental friends have figured this out. They have gotten you to brush your teeth, right? But how many of you stick on your exercise programs, right? So as a physical therapist, that's my challenge. When people ask me, how long do I have to do this? I'm like, what part of forever? Don't you understand? Okay? And we want to target people that are in the community and community dwellers, and we need to target people who are at risk. And this can be a group exercise or something you can do at home. Okay, so Tai Chi made easy, okay? Did you think you could stand on 1 foot and lift your foot up over your head like Tricia, you did? It's like, whoa, hang on, can I take a baby step first? How do I make this easy? So what Tricia has developed is this adapted program, which is based on Tai Chi lineage. So Tai Chi started in the 1300s in China in a little village called Chen Village, and then descended through the years, being taught to different families of the lineage. And this gentleman here, Master Chen Mencheng, escaped from Taiwan during the revolution, and he started coming to the US and teaching Americans. So this gentleman here, Benjamin Low, was big on the West Coast, and C.C. Chen, he was from the East Coast, and that's who Tricia Yu studied from. So direct lineage of Yang-style lineage. And with that, she started teaching Tai Chi in Madison in the 70s. Okay. Then in 1996, the study came out saying that Tai Chi is good for falls, and instead of having all the East Side hippies of Madison and all the college professors showing up for Tai Chi classes, all these people came out of the woodwork that were like, I need to learn how to not fall. Okay? And so they're like, but this Yang style stuff is way too hard. And she's like, well, let me figure out what to do. And so she modified it and created Tai Chi Fundamentals. Tai Chi Fundamentals is still involves Chinese mind-body skills. So we have that concept of active relaxation and being present in the moment, okay? Centering ourselves, something that Americans are not good at, being still, myself included. Okay. It teaches really effective actions. Remember, this was a martial art designed for warriors, hand-to-hand combat. So you have to stay on balance when you're doing it or you will not succeed. Okay? And it has what's called Tai Chi energetics, which is the idea of moving like a string of pearls, where you have a flow and a very integrated movement pattern. And you saw what it looked like in terms of it's almost like a fine-tuned dance when you learn the true form. Okay? So, are you ready for some Tai Chi? Yeah. All right, I need everybody to stand up. And if you can't stand up, you can sit. Okay? It's modifiable. So what we're going to do here is, if you need some balance, hang on to your chairs in front of you, okay? I can have side support with my little podium here, and you can do it seated. So Tai Chi is so adaptable that you can do it in a variety of ways because it's a form of Qigong or energy cultivation. Okay, so anybody can do this. So the first thing we need to do is find our Tai Chi posture. So we're literally going to get on our horse, okay? So I want your feet hip-width apart and parallel. So they're facing forward like you're on a train track, okay? So they're designed to be parallel at shoulder width, okay? That's the first thing. Now let's find our feet because it's the foundation. So I want everybody in the room to lean to the left. Lean to the right. Stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight. Lean. Therein lies another thing. If you have fun while you're doing it, you just released a little endorphin, a little enkephalon, make you happy. Okay? Now, settle back down and come back, and now be 50-50 right-left. Okay? Make sure your knees are soft. If you were on a horse, you'd have a little flex in your knees, right? You're not standing here hyperextended in your knees and all lazy. We are activated. We're rooted in our feet, powered by our legs, guided by our torso, and expressed in our hands. That's the Chinese energetic, okay? Rooted in our feet, powered by our legs, guided by our spine and our midsection, and expressed in the hands. Okay? So let's put our hands on our little energy shelves in front of us. And now we're going to side to side again. Everybody go this way. This is really fun. Like, watch all you guys move. It's like a bunch of mackerel. You know? Okay? Now settle back in the middle again. Now we're going to go fore and aft. So lean forward. And it's a little harder, right? Unless you have clown feet, then you can leave. I've decided that that's why clowns are scary, right? Because they can, as a little kid, you're like, that's not normal. Yeah. They know that. Okay, now settle back in the middle again. So hopefully you're waking up your feet. Okay, we're going to combine this now. We're going to make a circle. So we're going to go around in a circle. I have a friend that calls this the four-wheel drive exercise. I'm in my left tire, my right front tire, my right rear tire. But the idea is if you want to be grounded in your feet, you have to have them woken up. So this is like pay attention to your feet. Okay, now let's settle back in the middle again. Okay. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, without smacking your neighbors. I want everybody to come up here, put your hands on your head. I said, rest your fingertips. Now bring them down like this, and then put your hands right out in front of you. They're right in front of your heart. So in your fingertips is like a crescent moon, and here's the full moon. Okay? And take it. Again, diaphragmatically breathe. Your knees are soft. Your tailbone's kind of heavy, hanging straight down to the ground. Your body is upright. You're all looking forward. Okay? And yet, as a martial art, I'm paying attention to everything in the room. Okay? Now, if your arms are getting tired, we can bring the moon down on the horizon. And it's going to come up on the horizon. And back down. Okay. One more up. We can also make the moon wane or wax. So anybody who has a sore shoulder could modify this classic standing meditative pose by just simply bringing the moon closer or further down on the horizon. Okay. Let's have you stand, let your hands face each other. It's a big energy ball between your fingers. Okay, that's what the Chinese would call it. Okay. Just think about standing tall, okay? And you concentrate on your feet, your head, and your hands, and connect all of that with your breath. Inhale, nourish. Exhale, cleanse. Inhale, nourish. Exhale, cleanse. One more big breath. Inhale, nourish. Exhale, cleanse. And back down. Okay. Stay there. Stay there. I have to hit my slope. So whenever you do Tai Chi, we do these meditative poses. It's yin and yang. It's balance. So you're supposed to do the same amount of standing still as you are moving. So that this meditative piece of Tai Chi is what lowers blood pressure. Helps the parasympathetic nervous system calm you down. Helps your digestive system. Okay? So it gets your blood to go not just into your fight or flight muscles. So there's a grounding with Tai Chi or a centering, and that's a classic guideline. We have to have mindfulness. We have to have postural awareness in our horse stance. We have to have breath awareness, so we're getting good nutrition. We have to actively relax. So when we start to move, we need to actively relax. When we start to move in a minute, we're going to be moving slowly. And that's what my Chinese friends say, silly American, how slow can you go? Because I'm like, this it? No, that's not Tai Chi, Kristy, that's basketball. Okay? So getting myself to slow down. So slow movements, weight separation, so making yourself really unload and come all the way into one foot is going to be something we want to concentrate on, and then we're going to work on a little bit of flow. So these are like guidelines to Tai Chi practice. Okay? So what we're going to do now, we've already found the horse stance. Okay? We're going to do a little bit of riding the horse now. Let's put your hands on your hips. But all I want you to do is just a little mini squat. Okay? Down and up. If you have a knee problem, just respect it, how far you go down. Your tailbone is dropping straight down in between your heels, and you guys are doing an excellent job of staying upright. I teach this to young people, and this is what I get. You know, they go right into like, no, that's an athletic squat. This is an upright squat. When you ride a horse, you're very dignified. You stay upright, right? Okay? And there's a reason for it. It has to do with grounding the pelvis from a Tai Chi perspective. Okay? All right. Now, come back to your horse stance. Keep your knees soft. Now, without smacking people, okay, be careful where your arms are slinging. When you do this correctly, your arms come out like this. Okay, but for obvious reasons, you have to be careful. If you need to narrow that a little bit, that's fine. But this is called crane arms. So think about a big bird flapping its wings. A lot of the names in Tai Chi are based on bird animals. There's bear, there's monkey, there's birds. Okay? Now we're going to combine the little mini squat. So we're up here, we're all going to squat down, come back up. And this is called crane takes flight. Inhale. Exhale. Get the flow. Okay, Americans, how slow can we do this? almost harder to go slow. Especially in our fast-paced world. Okay? Now on the next one, we're going to come up and we're going to sit down and we're going to stay in that little mini squat. Stay down there. Okay, now if you reach down, you're like, my quads are on. Okay? So make sure your knees, if you look down, should be just over your second toe. They shouldn't be ahead of your toe. If you're a female in here and you got a little bit of heel on, you might be in trouble because this can hurt your knees if you need to kick your shoes down. Like I just saw you out of the corner of my eye going, oh, speaker with heels on. Oh, sorry. So don't hurt yourself. If you need to pop up a little bit, you're allowed. Okay, now everybody go to their left again. So this is called bear rooting. Okay? And my goal here is to get you guys to go onto one foot. Okay? So as we do this, kind of say, I'm in my left foot, I'm in my right foot. Keep your body upright. So I'm staying very vertical. There's no leaning going on here. Okay? So the next time you get over in your left foot, get all the way over there, and just lift your heel of your right foot up. Leave your toe on the ground like it's a kickstand. Okay? So now you have 99.99999% of your weight on your left leg. If you hold this, that will make you stronger in this arc of motion in your thigh. Okay? And then put your heel down, weight shift the other way. Slide over, get there, put your kickstand on this side. How many of you are holding your breath? Second principle, third principle, breath awareness. This is real classic. People go like this. Am I doing it right? The answer is no. Okay, it's a relaxed movement so that you have motion, but still, you're still in calm at the same time. Now, if you feel comfortable, slide over, get your kickstand up, find your balance, and then let your foot float off the floor. That's where this comes in, okay? It is much better for you to practice these things where you can touch than to do this and go, hold your breath. That's not what I'm after, or do this. That's when you're gonna hurt your back, right? So if you have a little side support, that's perfectly legit.
Float over before you lift your...
Yep, so float all the way over, make sure you're grounded in your foot, and then let that other side just float off the floor. Then set it down, float over to the other side, let your foot come up. Now, if it's Wisconsin and you're walking on the ice and you want to make sure it's safe, you kind of test the waters, right? So can you set your foot down and bring it back up, but stay in that weight-bearing leg? It's like a cat deciding it's want to walk somewhere. Touches, but it doesn't change its weight. Then weight shift to the other side. Sink down into your foot, find your root, get balance. When you're there, take a nice relaxed breath, float your foot off the floor. And some of you will find, gee, I'm better on one foot than the other. That's completely normal, okay? All right, so this is bear rooting, okay? Now, the next one we're gonna do is, if I told you you were gonna get in a fight with somebody, what would you do? How would you? Oh, yeah. So you got down, but most of you kind of adjusted your feet a little bit. Okay, so what we want to do is get you into what's called the 70-30 stance. So get as close to your chair as you can so you have a little bit of room to step forward. And what I want you to do, everybody in the room, in your horse stance, you're going to weight shift to this side of the room. Okay? And then take that opposite foot, just toe it out maybe a little bit. Okay? Then weight shift into that foot, get your weight there, then take your other foot, lift it up, step forward. Set it down in front of you, and then you'd be almost like in a boxing position. Can you feel that? Mm-hmm. So that's the 70-30 stance, okay? Now weight shift into that front leg, and I want 70% of your weight here, and maybe about 30% in the back leg, okay? And we're gonna get our crane arms out again, and we're gonna go forward, and we're going to come back. And we're going to weight shift forward and then sit back in that back leg. Bear moves with crane arms is the name of this. Physical therapy that says anterior posterior weight shift with a functional leg position. You know, bear rooting with crane arms sounds much more fun. Right? Okay. Again, probably natural to feel a breath on the way up and an exhale on the way down. Yep, you're moving forward, but you're not leaning forward. Because if this was a martial art and I leaned too far forward, my opponent would be able to knock me off. So I'm always rooted in my feet, powered by my legs, guided by my torso, and expressed in my hands. Okay? Now we don't want to let the other leg get all the fun. So sit in that back leg, just drop your weight into your back leg, and bring your other foot back and make a mirror image. So now if you look down, your feet are toed out a little bit. Okay? Weight shift back into your left foot, peel your right foot off the ground and bring it forward. And now you're in the 70-30 stance on the other side. Get your hips straight ahead toward the podium, or toward that end of the room, or toward that end of the room, but straight ahead. Okay, let's add the arms. Forward, back, forward, back. Inhale. Nourish. Exhale, cleanse. It's beautiful, let me tell you. This is a great view up here. Go Wisconsin! So we lean to the left, we lean to the right, and then we cheer for the Badgers, day and night. All right. Okay, come back and bring your feet back so they're in that mirror image again. Your toes get to point out now. Instead of being on the train tracks, you're a little bit pointed out. So the next thing we're going to do, and the last thing I'm going to show you, is what's called the high step. So if we go back to Sherrington's principles of fall prevention, we need to move our body weight over our feet, base of support, okay, in multiple directions. We need to eliminate upper extremity support, which we've done, but I also have to stand on one foot. Okay, so this activity is called high step. So I want everybody kind of hang on to their hips so they know where they are in space. And again, everybody weight shift into their left leg. Find it. Bring your right leg just out in front of you, tiny bit. And all I want you to do is just lift your heel up. So you have a kickstand, right? So now you're 99% in that back leg. If you feel confident, you can lift your foot off the floor. Okay, bring it down, swing it back. Weight shift, find it, make sure you're stable in that weight-bearing leg. Bring your foot to the front, toe touch for balance, high step. So high step could literally be bringing your knee up to 90 degrees, which I won't do because I'm wearing a skirt. But I can do it. Sure. Don't challenge an athlete. I thought about this today when I got dressed. I'm like, why am I wearing a skirt? I can't do high step with a skirt. So that's just a little sample of Tai Chi. All right, you need to have a seat. So what I just did, we actually kind of labeled this in our little group of Tai Chi professionals that work together on the fundamentals form and trying to bring it out clinically to people as the Fab Four. So the horse stance, the bear rooting side to side, the 70-30 stance, and the high step. We have no evidence of this, but there's a bunch of Tai Chi practitioners, PTs and OTs sitting in a room and said, if I had to give a patient 3 exercises, because I can only give people 3 things at a time when I'm a PT, I'm going to first center them, get them relaxed, and I'm going to teach them 3 movements. And the 3 movements I would teach would be the bear rooting, the 70-30, and standing on one foot. And if I did only those 3 things, I would satisfy Sherrington's guidelines for fall prevention. Okay, so now we need to do the study that proves that, but that hasn't happened yet. And I just wanted you to experience crane takes flight so you could feel what the arms were like. So if you would take Tai Chi, what you'll basically do is learn a bunch of movement patterns like this and learn exercises and then eventually string it together to get some of the dance that you saw in the video. Okay? So you can do it incrementally, baby steps, and get better. Okay? So I want you to leave here today with this golden nugget. Exercise is medicine. Okay? It is what will fix the ills of the 21st century. Every single thing that you saw up on that list that causes mortality and morbidity can be helped with exercise, with the exception of maybe acute illness, an infection. But if you had a good immune system from exercise, your likelihood of getting an infection would be reduced. Okay? So exercise is medicine. Just like brushing your teeth is part of your daily routine, we need you to think about exercise as medicine. Come on. Whoops. Make it part of your life. So this slide, I'm sure you can't read it in the back of the room, but this is from Clemson. It's a study called the LIFE program, Lifestyle Approach to Reducing Falls Through Exercise. And it's making these things that we did part of your day. Okay? So if you're standing in a grocery store, and you're typically one of those people, when you stand in line, you get impatient, and you go like this, and your back starts to get sore. Go back to your horse stance. Relax your knees, drop your pelvis, stand up tall, and sway a little bit. Okay? I can exercise my legs right here while I'm waiting in line. Imagine that. So you can start doing things, little bits, all day long. Here's one. If you want to make your legs stronger, every time you stand up, sit down, and stand up again. You will double the number of squats you do in one day. Okay? You have permission if you're going to the bathroom that you don't have to do that. Like, get up and get on with where you need to go. Or if you're in a fancy restaurant and you don't want to look a little, okay. But at home, there's no reason you couldn't stand up, sit down, and stand up again. Okay? That would make your legs stronger. So there's lots of little ways you can introduce Tai Chi movement patterns into daily life, or exercise patterns into daily life. Okay? Whoa. That was funky. Jim's getting nervous back there because the AV's going crazy. Tai Chi is endorsed by many, many agencies, okay? The CDC has a whole program that they literally advertise. The cover of the compendium Falls has got Tai Chi picture on it. Okay, so we know it's a good exercise for our seniors to do, and there are many different agencies that support it, okay? So how do you find Tai Chi in Dane County? I have a booth outside in the exhibitor hall. It's kind of called the Who, What, Where, When, and How of Tai Chi. When you came up the steps on this end, it's right there. And I have a flyer at that booth that gives different agencies that have Tai Chi in Madison, as well as Stepping On, which is another evidence-based program for fall prevention, and ballroom dancing, ballroom basics for balance, which is a ballroom dancing activity that a PT friend of mine runs. So we want you to think about keeping exercise as part of your life and movement as core to that. Okay, so this time I'll open it up for some questions.